Hello, boys and girls. You are now listening to the Neu Daye Podcast. Don't you dare be sour. Listen to the greatest podcast in the universe and feel the power.
Hell yeah.
Do you have a trombone on you, bro?
No.
Could you play the theme song if we did?
I wish I did.
Yeah. We need to work on that.
Probably not. I didn't play the trombone. Yeah, I played the drums because I suck at memorizing notes and shit.
Yeah, well, I don't have I can play video games, but for some reason, having that hand-eye coordination isn't the same as playing an instrument. Like playing a guitar or playing, I just never had it.
Yeah. That's why I never. When I started playing in the band in, I think it was elementary school, I wanted to play the drums, and I said if I wasn't able to, that I was not going to participate. So, because I can't read music for shit. But
yeah, surprise, surprise, your nerd ass is in the band. You go to band camp too?
Huh?
Did you go to band camp too? I
did not.
Ugh. I'm just giving you shit. So, man, you know how we kick this fucker off, and I'm tired as fuck too. By the way, I had a long evening, and I got off work a little early, thank God, and I want to shoot through this as fast as we can so I could take a nap before Raw. I mean, I don't know why I'm like, how the fuck? What the word I want to use? Like prioritize.
I don't know. I can't speak for you. You can speak for yourself.
Yeah,
so.
prioritize. How do you say
prioritize?
Yeah, prioritize. Like watching Raw is beyond me.
I wouldn't. It's not appointment viewing anymore.
Oh man, it's something, and it seems like it's just gotten worse over the past 4 weeks or so. I don't understand really what's going on, but we have more time to talk about it. We're gonna do what we did last week, and it's gonna extend from the weekend of since we last spoke. The best and the worst of last week up to now.
Okay.
You first.
So you want something good that I watched, or something good about the week and something not so good about the week? I can't remember exactly what it was.
It could be anything. It could be personal life. It could be sports. It could be wrestling. It could be anything.
Well, something not so good was probably last week's Raw, because I can't get into it at all. It's just, there's something about it that just doesn't seem right to me. Like, just, they're creatively burned out. But I will say something good is it hasn't aired yet, but there are some interesting things that are going to happen in NXT, which I'm pretty sure that we're going to talk about.
So that's your good and worst? Your best and worst?
Yep.
All right. But one thing about Raw, just to speak on the creative, last Monday apparently was a Vince McMahon headed show. It wasn't like he was fed creative and he sorted through it. Apparently he came up with all the creative on his own.
And that would explain why it was the way it was, if that's the case.
I was watching. I'm going through a bunch of what's the word? Hold on one sec. Let me close this fucking window. All right, I'm back. now that I have the network, something I've been doing is going through the Attitude Era stuff. And I know that you don't like the Attitude Era, but that's not why I'm really bringing it up. I'm bringing it up because what last Monday reminded me of was just how they booked Attitude Era shows. None of them had you probably had one consistent storyline, right? And then the rest were just straight matches that didn't lead to any kind of anything. You get the Headbangers versus DOA, but that's not going towards anything worth a damn. You get like, I don't know. It was just weird. And I go, wow, if this was how things were booked then, and we're complaining about things now when everyone's all up in arms, not up in arms, but like you say one thing bad about the Attitude Era, you're fixing for a fight kind of thing. It's like, well, I don't see that much of a difference between the booking of that then and these previous episodes of just kind of clusterfuck things, throw shit to the wall and wait for it to stick. So I just thought that was pretty wild. I was like, man, this is like last Monday. Why are people hooting and holler how great this stuff is? Because I jumped Attitude Era in my period of not watching wrestling. I caught right at the beginning of it, and then I got out.
And like you said, right at the beginning of it, where do you consider the beginning of the Attitude Era? Because I've heard different,
I would say 96
interpretations of it.
96 and the beginning of 97.
Because to me, what sparked the Attitude Era, and we talked about this a little bit on the Eyes on the Ring podcast last night, but what sparked the Attitude Era for me was what happened on November 9th, 1997, which was the Montreal Screwjob.
I mean, there's been different talks. It was a really cool. By the way, November 9th is my birthday. That was like my 17th birthday.
Nice.
The Solid Monster. You listen to the Solid Monster, right?
I used to. I don't anymore because it's not that I have a problem with him because I don't. I just can't listen to one person talk for a set length period of time without somebody else to talk to.
Yeah, I remember you saying. I remember you saying that before, but still, it's something about the Solid Monster. You get some good information. You probably get like better information from him than say the average podcaster. But he actually did a Q&A, and one of the questions, he does a Q&A every week, and one of the questions was, when did the Attitude Era start? And he touched maybe 4 or 5 different things that happened before the actual Attitude Era actually popped off. And I found it really interesting. I think one of them was a shoot. I think it was a Sid Vicious shoot that he did in 96 or something. It was a couple of other things that happened that was like the prelude to the Attitude Era that could have easily been in there. But me watching now, I'm starting from at the end of 97 because that's where it starts on the network. It starts December of 1997. And right now, I'm post Royal Rumble.
So are you watching all of the Raws and all of the pay-per-views?
Yes.
Or are you just watching all of the Raws?
Both. I will be watching the Raws and the pay-per-views. So, I've been taking my sweet time with it. But I just finished the Mike Tyson Stone Cold episode.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to watch maybe tomorrow, like the episode after that and after that. They're 2 hours, no commercials, easy consuming, whatever. But sorry to get off track, but my best and worst of the weekend, my best of the week into the weekend, my best, I would say it's a double header. They kind of co are the best. Dana Brooke and her performance against Kana.
Yes, I was very impressed with that.
Yes, I went in with low expectation, thinking it was going to be like a whatever squash, but she held her own, and I put that, because it over exceeded my expectation, I put that as a best. But my other best is what I was thinking about this today. My other best is shit. What the hell is my other best? I had it all like thought up and everything. Oh goodness gracious!
Great Balls of Fire.
Well, how about this? I'll just hold that off for a while. But for now, Dana Brooke and and what she did to hold her own in that match. My worst of the weekend is my fear of razors. Now, before as
in razor blades?
Yes. Which is funny because I cut my hair New Year's Eve 2013. And ever since I cut my hair, I didn't have it shaved off, I had it trimmed off. And ever since then, I've been upkeeping my head by using just straight clippers, balding clippers. But what's funny about using those and, say, using a razor is that the hair grows back pretty fast. If you're using a shaver, the hair takes a little longer for it to grow back. And I went and bought razors last week and bought some shaving cream. And yesterday, I actually lathered my hair up and I put the razor on top of my fucking head. And I just felt this really weird pull, and I punked out.
Because you cut yourself?
No, I didn't cut myself. I was afraid that I would have cut myself.
Oh.
See, I'm a grown-ass fucking man, right? It wasn't like I grew up, it's not like my pops taught me how to shave. But I was like, at some point, I'm going to have to come around and leave the clippers alone and man up and just start using a razor blade. And dude, to get more blades, the better. When it comes to black hair or black scalp, you got to be real careful because ingrown hair is like a motherfucker. But I totally copped out, and I was embarrassed. I was like, it's just me in my bathroom, and I'm embarrassed. It fucking sucked. I know it's pretty random, but I should not be afraid.
That's totally random.
Yeah, I shouldn't be afraid of shaving my own goddamn head, And that's the fucking worst.
Well, I hate shaving my face, but it's not like a straight up phobia like that.
It's a straight up phobia. I think I have a friend who does hair, and I think she does shaves and stuff too. And I think I'm gonna go to her and try to have her do it and talk me into feeling more comfortable with using a razor and have her show me the proper way to shave my head. But man, I punked out, and I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Why I can't remember my other good for the week is beyond me. But nevertheless, what are we going to talk about, man? Did you want to talk about NXT TakeOver? What
did we talk about it yet? Or was it because it was just last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Wednesday. We gave our predictions, and then Wednesday.
Yeah, I can talk about it if you want to.
Well, I don't want to go into matches so much as things you liked about it versus things that... What the hell is happening to my computer? It's acting weird. All right, it's still
Your
recording.
Computer's always acting weird.
I know, it's a piece of shit. But anyway, if it all broken up... Anyway, let's talk about things that we liked about it, things we didn't like about it.
All right. Well, to me, honestly, there's not too much to not like about it. I watched it front to back on Wednesday when I got home from work around 11 o'clock, and I got done at 1:14 exactly because it was 2 hours and 14 minutes. I did not look at a clock once during the show, and that tells you how good it was. This show from top to bottom was very good. I don't have very many bad things to say about it. I mean, I could get nitpicky and probably pick out a few things, but top to bottom, it was probably the best takeover I've seen.
Wow,
and
really?
It might be the best WWE produced wrestling show all around for the entire year. That's how good it was.
More than WrestleMania.
Yes.
Wow, that's saying a lot, because I felt this card was very underwhelming, to say the least.
The card on paper was very underwhelming, but I thought it really translated well in the ring, and the tournament, although, like I said, it looked underwhelming on paper, it was very good, and it was a very old school style tournament, which is what they were going for, given who they were tributing with the entire thing. But I just thought it came off very, very well. There wasn't a bad match on this show, and the matches I did think that were going to be bad were actually pretty damn good. So the one thing that kind of shocked me was that they didn't go ahead and add a 7th match, because I figured they announced 6 matches. I figured they would add one last minute like they usually do, but they didn't, and that's fine.
15 and 15.
Yeah.
I guess that 7th match would have been the second half of the Iron Maiden match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's only one real match that I had a problem with, but it wasn't a problem of the match itself. It was a problem of why they even booked it in the first place. But if you want to delve into it, we can talk about that later.
I know you're talking about Cruz versus
Breeze.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one. Yeah.
I am. That match was not a bad match. It was very, very good. But at the same time, it's like, okay, Apollo Crews, you knew he was going to win. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a wrestling historian to look at that match and say, okay, Apollo Crews is winning.
I said he was going to lose.
Tyler Breeze cannot win a big match to save his life.
Do you remember my prediction?
I
predicted that hook or crook, Tyler Breeze was going to win that match.
Yeah.
And there was a part where I thought he was actually going to pull it off after, the knees to the gut on the standing backflip.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to pull it off when he rolled him up. That was beautiful. Especially the sequence where he grabs his ankle to prevent it. And then when he goes up for it, he catches him with the knees, and then he just rolled him up. I thought that was just great, ring, IQ. It told a story.
Psychology.
Yeah, it was great. It was definitely great. But I thought he was going to pull it off. It sucks that it was such a clean victory, and it sucks that it was a one-off. I mean, you talk about 2 athletes, 2 fucking guys that I would definitely want to see a feud from, and rather than get something with some legs, moving forward, we just get a one-off clean victory for the babyface. And I just go okay, that was a wasted opportunity. And maybe that's the way you feel as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, if I would have done this differently, I wouldn't have done this match, because Apollo Crews was going to win whatever match he's in, and Tyler Breeze needs a win for me to take him seriously. He's not, if he comes on the main roster tomorrow, it's not like I'm going to say, oh, he's set and he's going to be great, this, that, and the other, because I'm already used to him not being able to win in NXT. So what makes me think that he's going to do anything on the main roster?
Well, because that gimmick going to the main roster is just not going to fucking translate.
And that's what I've been thinking as well. It's a great gimmick.
No, I don't think
it really works for NXT and Full Sail. It's not going to work on the main roster.
Yeah, it's 1996. I'm
they were lucky it worked in Brooklyn.
Yeah. But I think because the crowd is so smart that things like this go over. And we talked about this before, even with the Bayley gimmick. And everyone talks about how this gimmick is going to be so great. And I go
Bayley's gimmick?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be awesome on the main roster.
I don't think so. I think it's going
to be like the female John Cena. I think that's honestly what it's going to be. Only she's not going to win the title 1,000 times.
Man, I don't know. We don't need to go into it that deep, but I just feel like, man, we don't need another. We saw the Rocky Maivia project, and how that turned out. And I just feel like if that was the case, because people aren't that goddamn cheery, hugs and things like that nature, or we will have more of those type characters. We don't have those characters because they don't translate well. You got people who like bad guys, people who seem a little more real, and there's nothing really real about, or you know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers dealing with bills. You got people dealing with sickness. You got people dealing with all this stuff, and the last thing they need is some patronizing gimmick about hugging and being happy. I just feel if she ever came up to the main roster, it could actually, with that gimmick, Bailey sucks chance, she'll get Rocky Maivia real quick.
I disagree. I think depending on how they bring her in,
just like the New Day, they'll New Day her ass.
I don't think so.
And you know what? Which even's cooler, because if she was to turn heel with that gimmick, it could be Kurt Angle like, or even Bo Dallas like. Well, not so much Bo Dallas, but more Kurt Angle. Because that Iron Maiden match, there was some heel glimpses, man. Did you notice that?
No.
I did. When she got all aggressive and she was like really fucking up Sasha, I was like, man, this is heelish as shit.
But to me, that's just her being aggressive as a face. I didn't see that as being heelish at all. It's a Iron Man match, and they want to pull it, or they want to have it be a big deal, so you're going to have that aggression from the face and the heel.
But she also did that, and the last time I seen her, because it's not like she's like that in all her events. I've only seen her perform this way in the Fatal 4-Way, the Banks, Bailey, Charlotte. I think it was like the Fatal 4-Way one. What is it called? Fatal 4-Way Takeover. What was that?
NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah. It was Fatal 4-Way. They had the Sami Zayn, Breeze, Finn Balor, and Neville. And then they had Charlotte, Lynch, Banks, and Bailey. And that match, Bailey went aggressive. Like, that was something that floored everyone about that entire performance. And Becky Lynch's flashes of strength. You didn't know she was really that fucking strong.
Yeah.
It reared its head again in this match. And I go, wow. Like, again, if she does go to the main roster and she does take that gimmick with it, again, guarantee she's going to be Rocky Maivia. And she's completely prepared for the turn.
I completely disagree with you.
And she could use the bear hug
as her
finisher. She could use the bear hug as her finisher.
It's not the bear hug. It's a belly to belly suplex.
No, I'm saying she would use then the bear hug because she's a hugger, and her finisher then would be like a bear hug. If she would like strangle her, whoever opponent.
I think you're asking for too much. I think like John Cena. Okay, he's never going to turn heel. Let's face it. He's been around since 2003, 2004. He's never going to turn heel. Or actually 2002.
I've never made a comparison.
He's never going to turn heel. Bailey has been around for a couple of years now. She's never going to turn heel. Well, it's never going to happen.
But they're not. I notice I never said Cena. Because Cena is a whole other entity.
I'm just bringing it up because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and social media and on Facebook, even though I don't frequent Facebook as much. But a lot of people and on other internet sites that I go to, but they compare Bailey to John Cena,
and it's
being
incorrect.
That she's the female John Cena.
She's not nowhere close to the female John Cena.
Well, character-wise, she is.
Nowhere close.
character-wise, like the fan reactions that she gets the biggest reactions.
Well, it's
from the fans when they go on the road and everywhere.
No, I think. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but when you're comparing John Cena himself is an institution. John Cena is the underdog that always wins, and he's also a stale gimmick, right? That's why he gets so much heat. He's been on top forever. He is the institution that is WWE. And he never loses. He's never the underdog. The stakes, there are no stakes.
Even though they always try to make it as if he's the underdog.
Yes.
Like the whole, I loved it. Like, you remember WrestleMania 28, I believe it was? Mm-hmm. Where they had the theme song to that show was Invincible by Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. And they had him perform that theme and John Cena came out to it.
Pretty good
and
song.
Then Machine Gun Kelly straight up said when he was doing his concert that John Cena's an underdog. And I'm like, remember sitting there and I'm thinking, no, you idiot. You obviously don't know anything about wrestling because if you did, you'd know that John Cena is not an underdog. But they tried to make it seem like he was, even though he wasn't.
Now, and another thing, the two gimmicks, Bayley's is I'm cheery and, I'm cheery. John Cena's gimmick is never give up. Never say, never give up, never hustle, loyalty, and respect. I mean, I understand the idea of them being bubblegum vanilla to a certain extent, but Bayley's I would compare Bayley to Rocky Maivia. I wouldn't compare her to John Cena. And also, there are stakes with Bayley. She lost a hell of a lot. John Cena doesn't have a legacy of losing. And she doesn't have a never give up kind of gimmick going on.
But okay. Put it this way. If UPW was televised like NXT is, would we be saying the same thing?
UPW.
UPW is where John Cena came from.
I thought he came from Ohio.
No.
Okay.
He came from a company called UPW.
He was the prototype.
Yeah, he was the prototype. I can't remember what UPW stood for, but they were one of WWE's... they were loosely associated with the WWE. They found him. They signed him to OVW. So from a W sense, he did come from OVW, but the first place he started wrestling at was UPW. I believe it was Ultimate Pro Wrestling. I could be totally wrong on that, but he came up from a company called UPW.
But I don't think he was just some found dude. I mean, his dad was a promoter, a wrestling promoter. I have this idea that him and Vince McMahon already had history, and that he had a boy that he was going to bring up as a wrestler, and I think Vince just went along with it. I think he is a WWE product from the jump. He was the prototype. That was the idea, that he was going to be the prototype to the WWE roster,
Yeah.
So I never considered him. He wasn't just some guy they found, some geek off the street. I think because Cena's dad has deep roots in Northeastern wrestling and booking. Deep roots. I think him and Vince.
I didn't even know that. So.
Yeah, I think Vince and him, Cena's dad, Daddy Cena, they have business, like history. So I mean, it's worth looking up if you didn't know that already.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah. So, but moving forward, one of the things that bothered me about this, and I give it, for me, it was more or less, it over-delivered. It over-exceeded my expectations.
You're talking about the Iron Man match?
No, I'm just talking about TakeOver respect in general.
Oh, in general.
Yeah, I went in with the glass half full, half empty. I just, we talked about this. I didn't have any hopes. I was, this Dusty Cup. I really wanted Jordan and Gable to be the winners, but obviously the biggest stars on that roster right now have to win it. makeshift versus actual tag teams. The only thing that bothered me, that and then there was no sense of urgency in neither match. Very much like what happened with Seth Rollins in his 2 matches at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
There was no sense of urgency whatsoever. It's like, well, whoever wins is going to have to fight again. So why? It's nitpicking.
I did see a sense of urgency in the Iron Man match, but not as much as I would have liked to see. The only urgency that I saw was the fact that they were trying to get the first fall as soon as possible.
Well, I wasn't talking about the Iron Man match. I'm talking about the Dusty Cup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, something that impressed me about the Iron Women's match was the fact that there was a sense of urgency.
Okay.
I even did a live reaction to that match, and I was like, dude, look at this. This is exactly what I wanted from the tag team match. A sense of urgency. And then as soon as I said that, the guy with the tattoos, Corey Graves, he says it almost immediately.
Yeah.
And I go, that's what I'm talking about. It just felt like two matches. Like this, okay, we're going to get in here and we're going to do the allowed time and we're not going to show a sense of trying to get the fuck out of here because, if we win, we got another match and we're going to have to face another thing. And I didn't like that. I was like, oh, come on, man. Show me some urgency. But
okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying now because there were 3 matches and the first 2 matches weren't wrestled with the sense of, oh, we have to wrestle another match later, so we need to get these matches over as soon as possible. That makes complete sense, and it's like even like the finals. If you watch the finals, they didn't have a sense of urgency either. At all. It's like, man, we just got out of like 12-minute matches. Let's get this fucker over with. Like someone try to hit their finisher right off the fucking gate. Nope, none of that. And at least looks like someone's gonna get the early pinfall. Not even that. And then I didn't agree with Cruz going over clean over Breeze. I think again this match could have the feud itself could gave both of them something to do, and the fact that you got a guy who has all this raw sort of like ability in Cruz, and you got this guy in Breeze who has this gimmick and has like really good sense of the ring. And he's kind of been in like this clusterfuck limbo. He's been on NXT forever, and he hasn't been given a big win. That at some point, this would have been something where he would have been a dirty bastard. Like he would have broke and caused, Cruz to complain to the ref afterwards, and then give him something to talk about. It's like, Breeze, looking away from the camera, obviously. Breeze, you cheated. I want my rematch. And then have Breeze be like, fuck you, I beat you, blah, blah, blah. Just be a thorn in his side, just poking at him. You're nothing. And then the payoff to that would be, I guess, another match between them at TakeOver, at a later TakeOver. And then, get his win back. And then you could take it to a rubber match. I mean, if we're going to do even Stevens, fuck it. What's the rush? There's definitely no rush for Cruz because it's going to be a while before he goes to the main roster. And 15 years on the NXT roster? Tyler Breeze been on that motherfucker? He's been on there since FCW.
He's been on there since the Attitude Era.
He was Mike Dalton in FCW. I don't know if they're ever going to call him up. And I think he's going to be an NXT lifer. It's like, if they're not going to do anything with him, they might as well just release him.
You know what they should do if they do bring him up? I think somehow he should team up with the one-man rock band.
That actually could work.
That would be so awesome.
And I remember, remember when Batista was around and he was wearing the skinny jeans and the shirts and all that? I would have loved them to call him up and have him be Batista's stylist. but they didn't do that. But so that could be the next best thing, because they need to do something with him if they're going to call him up and be serious, because all I see him now as is a NXT lifer.
Yeah,
and I hope that doesn't happen, because he deserves to be on the main roster in some capacity.
Now, do you vision him as a world champion?
World champion, no. A Intercontinental champion, yes. But yeah, I don't. There's certain guys that I can look at and say, this guy will never be world champion, but he'll probably be, or like Tyler Breeze is an easy candidate for an Intercontinental champion.
Now,
like, I think if they put him on the main roster and had him feud with Dolph Ziggler, I think that would be awesome.
When Shawn Michaels was playing like the super egotistical motherfucker posing with Pamela Anderson, talking about himself, was he destined to be world champion then? Was he in world championship form then?
You're talking about like around WrestleMania 11?
Yeah. Like the Heartbreak Kid. Like,
I think he was. I mean, the first sign I saw of Shawn Michaels possibly being world champion is when he did what at the time no one else did, and went from he entered the Royal Rumble as number 1 and came out as the winner, and only one other person in WWE history has ever done that,
right,
besides Michaels, but they will never mention who that is, so by their token, Shawn Michaels is the only one to do it.
Why won't they mention it?
Because the other guy was Chris Benoit.
Didn't Rey Mysterio do that as well?
No, he entered at number 2.
Ah.
He's the longest person to ever stay in a Rumble at 62 minutes and 2 seconds, but he entered at number 2, not number 1.
Okay. So I asked that question because once you really strip down the gimmick of Tyler Breeze, he is definitely the Heartbreak Kid. I mean, even his music is just another version of.
He's like if Shawn Michaels and Rick Martel had sex and they were able to have a kid.
Whoa, dude! Pause. But he really gives off to me more of a Shawn Michaels thing. Even his music. If you put the music side by side, I think I'm hot. I think I'm sexy. And it's like, I got the moves. I got the looks. It's the same thing. They're both even singing their own fucking music.
Yeah.
It's very parallel. Now,
I agree.
It took Shawn Michaels to basically strip himself. He had it to a certain extent, but he got a little more serious, right? It would take Tyler Breeze to strip that gimmick and come off as a real serious, like, I'm focused on doing something, other than feeding my own ego. He's super young. Well, not super young. He's young enough to where he still has hope to actually, because I see him as a world champion in the same vein of the progress of a Shawn Michaels, right? He's a smaller guy. Yeah, he's a pretty boy, but he'll fuck you up.
Yep.
Just that's all. And I just go like, well, if he's a NXT lifer, I think it's a shame, because if we were just to talk aesthetics and just his look alone, it's like, why would you pass up someone with that kind of a look? I mean, not the gimmick, but like as good looking as he is. And plus, he was trained by Lance Storm. I didn't know he was Canadian, but I just found out he's Canadian. He was trained by Lance Storm, so it's not like he got training from some jabroni. We've seen how he works. Yeah. He has it. And the matches that he's been in, especially like having a match with Jushin Thunder Liger under his belt, should just move him as far to the front of the line as like the average NXT person. Do you agree?
Even after that match with Liger, he was treated as an afterthought.
Yeah, he jumped right into that bullshit crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel sorry for him. He has a job. But I just go, when are they going to pull the trigger on doing something sustainable with him? And until we get that, one will only just perceive, how his future is going to go. Because if they don't give him nothing substantial and nothing that stands out, something to get the people to really people hungry for him, I just don't see. I see it as just like, they're just going to Ethan Carter III his ass.
Yeah. I don't know what that means because I don't watch TNA.
Well, Ethan, he was Derek Bateman.
Yeah.
But
he was on a season of NXT that nobody remembers.
Yeah, but like the guy had he had the look, he had the skill. It's just that I think they just got cold feet on him. And that's the comparison I'm drawing.
So put it this way: if they were to release Tyler Breeze, say tomorrow,
ROH would call him up in a flash.
I was thinking either ROH or Global Force Wrestling.
Well, he wouldn't want to go to GFW.
How do you know that? Because
GFW ain't got no television contract, man. They ain't got shit. You want to go somewhere where they got at least a television contract.
There's rumors of them having one, but I don't know where. So yeah, that's a good point. But I don't see him going to ROH at all.
Why waste all that WWE? Why waste all that WWE? What's the word? Foundation on just going to like a piece of crap promotion. He could work the indies. He could probably go to any other, just because he faced Jushin and he was on contract with WWE. He's a hot commodity. That alone would get him jobs. As just Tyler Breeze and just going in and people doing the job for him, and push, hella high, get AJ Styles, to a certain extent. But why would he go to GFW? Why would he go to somewhere? Why would he go to TNA? Why would he go somewhere that doesn't even have a television contract? He I would say he could fly to Japan. He could fly. He could go to ROH. I think he would fit in just fine. I would like a Dalton Castle, Tyler Breeze feud. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But I can see
aside from that, though, that's the only thing I would really want to see in Ring of Honor. Nothing for Tyler Breeze. Nothing against Tyler Breeze, but there's not that much there.
Oh my God, there's a lot. Matt Seidel, Cedric really Alexander. Man, they could match him up with a lot of people on that shit. He could match him up with Dijak. They could match him up with one of the Briscoes. They could match him up with Roderick Strong. It's endless.
All right. I guess I really never thought of it before we just had this conversation. I'm pretty sure that they could do some things, but it's just I don't see him doing the character he's doing now and being in Ring of Honor.
Especially when they already got one, something similar to.
Yeah.
This.
And I think if Tyler Breeze, first of all, he would have to change his name.
Yeah.
But if Tyler Breeze went to Ring of Honor and did the exact same gimmick that he's doing now, I think no one would even know that he was there.
No, I think it would be hot because those fucking smart marks would eat it up.
Yeah.
In spite of,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a possibility. Like I said, I wouldn't really know what to think of it unless it actually happened. So right now we're just talking hypothetical. So
of course.
Nothing's happened. So it's really hard to say what would happen if he did go to ROH or a different company.
So this Wednesday marks the debut of Jame Storm in the NXT WWE ring.
Correct.
How do you feel about that?
I have no problem with it. I'm happy with it. James Storm is a guy who's been in a he's been in TNA since day one. He finally was smart enough to get out of it, and he deserves to make some real money and have a legit future. I don't know how old the guy is, so I don't know how much time they really have to do anything with him. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
That guy doesn't move a fucking needle at all. If he was that big of a deal, he would have went straight to the main roster. You know, okay, he's Jame Storm, beer money, this, that, and the other. But he doesn't move the needle. Him on an NXT roster, I think, is more or less a bucket list thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't see him. His aesthetic doesn't even fit on the main roster. Like, could you imagine Jame Storm versus Randy Orton? Jame Storm versus John Cena? Jame Storm even versus Kane? I just don't see it. I don't.
Well, put it this way: it didn't, or a WWE run didn't work out for his tag team partner, in America's Most Wanted. So I don't know how a WWE run is going to fare for him. Although his tag team partner was an idiot and didn't showed up out of shape, so maybe Jame Storm will be different. I hope he is. Because, like I said, he's a talented guy. He deserves something.
Apparently, he still has because he hasn't signed a WWE contract. This is kind of like a handshake agreement kind of a thing.
Yeah.
He still has an offer from TNA. TNA wants him back, and they're going to give him X amount more money than his contract was already that expired.
What money do they have, though? Because they're in the toilet financially, so I don't know.
As a company, the Carter family still is a rich family. And regardless of the company TNA, how it's flailing or, looking right now, the Carter family has money, and that's its little play toy. Here's something for our little daughter to do. And they're funding this. They have the means to cut those checks, right? Like it's nothing. Like a fucking nice contract to Jame Storm is no different than change falling out all of that oil money fucking pocket.
Okay.
That's where the money is. It's mom and pop funding. And that's one of the only reasons why that thing is still running. Because the parents
Panda Energy.
Those people, those trust fund kids. This is exactly what this is. You know
what makes me sick about TNA? The fact that it's now lasted longer than WCW, and it shouldn't have.
Who's to say, man?
I'm just saying WCW was a poorly mismanaged company at the in the early days and at the later days. We obviously know that, but TNA is the most mismanaged wrestling company in wrestling history.
Well, they got wiggle room. It's called a lot of cash. Disposable cash. That's the wiggle room, and it's invested in a what's the word? In a child. But
I wish Janice Carter would pull the plug on her daughter and say, "No, you're not doing this anymore because you're a fucking idiot." Because she is.
Yeah, but it's funny being a parent.
I wish my parents were millionaires and let me play with a freaking wrestling company and running into the ground like she's doing. Because it's like she's not even, to me, she doesn't even come across as a wrestling promoter. It's just a grown-ass woman with the spirit of a little girl playing house with a bunch of real people, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. Isn't that the American dream, though?
I guess.
To be, because it's not about, something that I keep going back to in terms of like how I feel about people and the position that they're in. And this is from Jalen Rose. I don't know if you know who Jalen Rose is, but he was one of the members of the Fab Five. In Michigan,
never heard of him.
Michigan basketball. He also played for my Pacers. He was a journeyman. He played for the Knicks. He ended up playing for the Knicks, the Bulls, I think he played for one other team, but anyway, he has a podcast on Grantland. It's called the Jalen and Jacoby Show. And one of his things that he always goes about when people talk about like contracts or this, that, and the other in professional athletics, he goes, man, this isn't about like what you deserve. This is about leverage and where you position yourself where you want to be. You know, so I can't look down on her as like that's how life works. She uses her leverage. She has her parents. She has the money to be in a position that she is. Like, she don't deserve it, but she's there, you know? And I wish people would get away from the idea that she doesn't deserve it. We all know that she doesn't deserve it. We all know. But the network she has to be in the position that she is in and the leverage that she has, man, any of us would give our right fucking nut to be in that position that she's in, right?
Thanks for that visual.
Well, I just hope you don't have testicular cancer.
No. You said that word weird, so I was just like confused for a second.
What, testicular?
Yeah.
It's one of those words, like prioritize.
Whatever. I can't say it the way you said it, but you said it weird.
Either way. Nuts. Nah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at this Jame Storm thing and everyone's like, head over heels about it as if they were TNA fans.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
When it's like, it's funny when one person from one company goes to another company and they're like, oh, I've always been a big fan of so-and-so. I'm so happy for him. And like, and half the time I'm like, fuck you. No, you haven't.
Nah.
Or like when an indie guy gets signed by WWE, you always see fans come out of the woodwork. Oh, I've always been a fan of so-and-so. I'm so glad they're getting a shot in WWE. It's like, no, you're an idiot. Shut up.
Yeah, Uha and Asaka is like the most recent.
Yeah.
Everyone knew about. Oh, you didn't know about Uha Nation?
I'll be honest, I had no idea who Asuka even was.
Nope.
I mean, I had heard of her, but I hadn't seen her matches. And when she was in the front row at the last takeover, or not the last takeover because she wrestled on that
Brooklyn.
one, but at Brooklyn,
yeah, she looked like
I
Ric
went
Flair's
and I watched
call
some of her
girl.
matches
Is what she
to
looked
see
like.
what she could do, but aside from that, I had no idea who she was.
Man, when she was sitting in that front row of Ric Flair, she actually looked like a mistress.
Yeah,
like that's what she looked like. Like I had no idea who she was, and yeah, obviously I watched the product. I want to know who I'm getting into, but I'm self-admitted saying like I don't know shit than all the stuff that I watched of her previously. It wasn't even matches. It's like compilations, you know. So
I watched a few matches.
I didn't even watch matches.
I watched like a handful of her matches, and they're like, I remember thinking half the stuff that she was doing in her matches she's not going to be allowed to do in WWE, and that's pretty much what I've gotten from it, so I wasn't wrong at all.
Man, she is so hot. Yeah, she's my new girlfriend.
Okay, this got creepy.
That's not creepy. I'm fucking straight. She's a hot woman.
Yeah, but to say she's your new girlfriend when you don't even know her?
Well, I mean,
that's weird, dude.
No, it's like, I'm a Nikki Bella fan, and that's my lady. But like, Asuka.
Why she can't wrestle her way out of a nutsack?
Well, it's not like I would give her the opportunity to give that a shot. But Asuka, she's a babe. I mean, she's and I hate, if you're listening, and then it's like, I'm not stripping her down to just her appearance, but she is fucking hot. And if anything, she has that going for her like a lot. I mean, I could go down the roster of all the divas, and I would put her right now in the top 3 of the hottest women on the divas roster.
I think you're crazy.
NXT. Who would you put? Who? I'll tell you the 2 I would put above her. I put Nikki Bella and Naomi.
Alexa Bliss would be number 3.
Asuka's up there, buddy. God almighty, she is.
She ain't in the top 3.
She is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. I mean, obviously, and it's funny too because when you do look at her previous whatever, and she didn't look as girly, you know. I guess she had whatever, but she's dolled up in NXT, right?
Well, of course she is. They're gonna do that because they're in the business to make TV. So it's like wrestling goes Hollywood in a sense. So of course she's gonna be dolled up.
Well, it's a good damn thing. I'll tell you that much. She got it. I mean, Emma's hot. Alexa Bliss is really hot. I mean, I'm not, but that's like, you know, traditional hot. You know, you look at it, it's like, oh, look, hot blonde chick with boobs and you know, a nice little curve. This girl is like damn near tomboyish, you know, once you'd really strip her down. But she has.
Well, yeah, because she could murder you.
Yes. Yeah. Murder. And she could have murdered fucking Dana with that fucking chicken wing into the leg scissors. Like that looked like that really fucking put her out. The way she was gasping, it's like that's not selling. Like she's choking this shit. She's choking the living shit out of Dana Brooke. And I have to give it again. One of my best is like, man, I really thought that she was gonna get her ass handed to her. I really thought
we all did.
But she gave a phenomenal. And I go, maybe it took her being in the ring with like qualified like talent to bring that out of her. You know, it's not like she's gonna face like, you know, who's the chick from? It's not like she's gonna face Carmella to bring out the best in her. It's not like she's gonna, you know, whatever. And also the debut of Nia Jax, is that this Wednesday?
Nia Jax, yeah. I just read the results of what happened. So.
Oh yeah, spoilers. Yeah, I don't do the spoilers.
I do.
Why? Why do you read spoilers?
Because even if you read spoilers, if I go into a wrestling show, if I know everything that happens, I don't care. I still want to see it.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But don't you want the
only thing that I don't want to be spoiled on is like the takeover specials, which I wasn't. Like I was at work on Wednesday and I came home and I had to watch it when I got home, and luckily I was able to avoid the front page of WWE.com because I've done that before where I've gotten home and sat down to watch one of these things and they spoil it on the front page. Luckily I know a workaround so I don't have to go to that front page anymore, but otherwise I went into it blind. So NXT, the specials, I like going in not knowing anything, but otherwise it's like I don't care if I know what matches I'm going to see, who wins what, because I just want to see how good the matches are going to be.
How about this? And not how about this, but did you consider my tweet to you a spoiler? All I said was
I can't remember what it said, but
I got that prediction wrong. That's all I said.
Yeah, but no, I'm extremely strict. Like when there's a live special going on, I always tell people, do not tweet me anything, and if you do, you get blocked. I didn't block you, obviously, because I'm not going to do that because we talk week to week, but any other jabroni who does it, and I've had people do it. There was one week, or the last special, the last one was Brooklyn, which happened on Saturday, which I was able to watch live, but the last one that happened, it was either on a Thursday or a Wednesday. I was watching the show and I was tweeting about a match and they were like, oh, it was so cool when so-and-so won and this and that and the other. And I got pissed and I said, listen, you motherfucker. I said, I'm watching this right now. I haven't seen it.
You turned heel?
You're a fucking asshole. And I blocked him. And he was like, I thought you did. I'm like, no, because if I had, why would I be tweeting about it right now?
Nathan turned heel. That's fucking hilarious.
And then when I was watching and tweeting NXT last Wednesday, I had some asshole on Twitter say, why are you live tweeting the show when it's 5 hours later? And I'm like, well, because I can. because everybody else does. Meanwhile, there's like 5 or 6 other people doing the same goddamn thing that I'm doing.
I understand how touchy it could be, and I didn't say who won.
No,
who
I
lost.
know.
Like even if we weren't doing this podcast and I sent you that tweet, you would have still blocked me.
No, like if put it this way, if I hadn't already been following you, if you were just some random person who happened to see a tweet about like, oh, don't send me spoilers, this and that and the other, because the last time I couldn't watch one live, I said, I can't watch the show live, no spoilers, or else you'll get blocked. Couple people sent me spoilers just to be dicks, and I blocked them. But had I sent something out like, okay, I'm not going to be watching this live, no spoilers, and then you sent me something out that said, oh, so-and-so won this match, if I hadn't been following you, if you were just some random person who I had no idea who you were, I would have blocked you. But because of the fact that I know who you are, because of the fact that we talk every week,
but I didn't say anything about the match.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
And I probably overreacted, but it's just like, I don't like it when, like, even say, like, oh, we got this prediction wrong. It's like, well, I haven't seen it. I'm not watching the show live, so I can't really.
Well, you only at that time
anything.
have to guess which prediction I got wrong. Like, not necessarily that I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you had to predict. But
I'd actually like to know which one you got wrong, but I think it had something to do with the tag team tournament.
Yeah.
And the fact that Finn Balor and Samoa Joe didn't turn on each other like we thought.
A lot of things didn't go.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. It was just it ended. It just ended. Like, all the matches just ended. I wasn't a big fan of the flowers at the end of the Iron Maiden match, and I was hoping that something was going to sort of go down, but it was left drama free. Like, there was no drama at all at the conclusion of any of this, and it just goes to show that this I felt like this was not necessarily filler, but it was a lackluster card. I mean, it overexceeded. There was no imminent drama at the end, no swerves or no turns. You were able to focus on Dusty Rhodes and his memory. You were able to focus on the debut of Asuka. You know what I'm saying? And you were able to focus on you can focus on just a good 30-minute match that went by really fast, by the way.
By the way, speaking of,
I mean, that shit went by like no problem. I was like, damn, this flew the fuck by. It didn't feel like 30 minutes. But
that's why I'm saying, like, the whole show, even the Iron Man match itself, didn't feel like 30 minutes, but the whole show really went by fast, to me at least.
Yeah.
And I was watching it at 11 o'clock at night.
Well, how about this? Let's talk about let's just talk about like Raw for like a minute.
One quick thing before we move on, I would just want to say, yesterday was Dusty Rhodes' birthday. He would have been 70. So I really like the fact that they were able to time this out and have it kind of coincide with his birthday. I think that's really cool.
Did you know he died on the same day that John Wayne died?
No, I didn't.
Same date. Not the same day, but the same date.
Well, yeah, the same date.
Yeah.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Listening to King Carino on the Jim Ross Report.
Oh, that fucker blocked me on Twitter for no reason. So
JR or Carino?
Carino.
Yeah, because you threw somebody over the top rope.
Got
DQ'd, baby. Oh, that's a DQ. Block. Why did he block you? What'd you send him? You sent him some shit.
I didn't send him anything. I think he's one of those people that vanity searches his name, and I probably said something about him not even mentioning him. But I went to, like, I saw a retweet that someone retweeted something he had said, and I went to his account, and, like, because I swear to God I followed him, which I did at some point, but I said that he blocked me, so I couldn't. So.
That's hilarious. Question.
Answer.
The New Day, is the New Day the only thing worth a goddamn? On
right now, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the feud between Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. They're touching too fucking much. And we got another 2 or 3 weeks until like Hell in a Cell, which there shouldn't be a second Hell in a Cell match. There just shouldn't be. There should be just one. Why are they doing it? But that feud is dumb. There's no blow off to. I
agree.
To the Cody Rhodes.
I had no idea. Like they made that. Yeah.
There's no blow off to the Stardust Neville feud on SmackDown. It was just like he catches a bullhammer, gets his ass handed to him. Neville, that is, and then Stardust just does some backstage card bit. Yep. Where he's like, "All right, I'm done with Neville. Who's next?" You look at where the fuck is Ambrose? Yep. He wasn't even on last week's Raw at all.
That's because he doesn't matter. What
about John Cena is going to be off TV for a while.
Yep. Now, not due to an injury, due to personal reasons, which I have no idea what it is.
Just a sabbatical.
Yeah.
He needs a fucking break.
Well, no, he said he's going to be off TV for personal reasons.
Yeah, a personal vacation.
No, he said that they're like personal reasons to me means that there's more to it, because if they didn't cite personal reasons, then they would have just said, "Oh, he's off TV."
How about because he's on the road like 800 days out of the week, and he's always doing.
Yeah, he's probably burned out.
Yes.
It's not 800 days in a week.
I'm just saying, man. Like he's a workhorse, and grant the guy 6 weeks, he deserves it, regardless. I mean, personal reasons. Yeah, I'm tired as fuck. You know.
Yeah.
He deserves it, and I know it's pretty tough for Vince to just let him go. I mean, even when he had that last injury, like they were like, "Nah, come on back, bro," and he's like, "Nah, dog, let me heal the hell up. You know, let me drive my cars around."
And yeah, because he's held together by duct tape and paper clips and gum at this point.
Yeah, he's MacGyvered up. But, like, everyone's speculating that he's going to drop that U.S. belt to somebody.
And he is. He's going to I predict he's going to lose it.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit. Repeat that.
If not tonight, definitely at Hell in a Cell. He's going to drop it to somebody before he leaves.
Nah, my prediction is he's just going to get decimated by Braun Strowman and Luke Harper.
So he's going to keep the belt while he's off TV?
Yeah.
That would suck.
What the fuck is that?
Because we don't know how long he's going to be gone for.
What the fuck is it else going to do on someone else? Are we going to even care who has that US belt? Build a new
star?
No, you're never building a new star with that fucking US belt. Have you been watching the show?
Yes, but you could do something similar to the Cena Open Challenge, because the Cena Open Challenge has really refreshed the Cena character. They could do something to actually push a new U.S. champion, but they're not going to do it. But I'm just saying they could do something. They're not going to let Cena be the champion while he's hurt.
Man.
They're just not going to. They're going to strip him of the title. The only time they've ever let a champion keep the title while they were hurt was when CM Punk tore his meniscus and had to get it fixed.
But what belt was he holding?
He was the WWE champion in his the middle of his 434-day reign.
He was able to talk, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine.
He got the surgery, and then he was on crutches for a couple weeks, and then they wanted him to do a match at TLC. He couldn't do it, so then he came back on January 7th of, I believe it was 2014.
Who was this again?
CM Punk. And had his match with Ryback.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, we all have, even though I don't like him, but...
I'm not sure. Say his name one more time.
CM Punk?
Oh, yeah, it rings a bell. Rings a bell. Oh, whatever.
But, I forgot you don't like him as much as I do, so...
Who are we talking about? I don't not like the guy. I don't even know the guy. Who the fuck is... I don't know the name. It rings a bell, but I guess I'll do some research.
All right, go on the WWE Network. I'm pretty sure he's on there.
But I don't know. I don't see that belt doing any retribution to anyone else at all. I just don't see it. Like it's about John Cena. It's not about that belt. How can you not see that? Like, name one
because
person.
It should be about the belt.
Like, name one. Well, it's not. It's John Cena. It's John Cena with the belt. That belt don't mean shit. Who had it before? Dean Ambrose? No. Who the fuck had that belt before? Luke Harper?
Rusev
had.
No, Luke Harper's never been the champion.
Oh, he was an Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, and Dean Ambrose, his reign as U.S. champion sucked because he never defended it. Dean Ambrose is overrated as shit.
Because
by the way,
belt didn't mean shit. Hey, but the people like him.
Totally different story.
The people like him.
But he's like, I just don't care about the guy.
I just hate that, he's very much like the Tyler Breeze of the main roster.
Yep, and he's never going to go anywhere. And ever since he had a TV busted in his face and exploded all over him, it's like, I can't take the guy seriously.
Nah, when he stole the belt and he was walking around New Orleans, he was mad over, man. People were just like, dude.
I didn't care.
Ambrose. And where the fuck is Cesaro?
On Superstars?
This product is a pile of crap, and it's depressing. It sucks. Like the ratings are going down, and people are unhappy. Now apparently there's talk that Paige is getting. She's in the doghouse.
For what?
For like dropping F-bombs or something.
That's the first I've ever heard of it because I don't read dirt sheets. But
Jake sent me something because like when she lost clean to Natalya, she tapped out. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? And I just go like, well, I think they're telling a story. And speaking of which, talk about like what a motherfucker. So Natalya on SmackDown, Natalya, Charlotte, and Becky are a she stepped in to replace Paige, PCB. And I was just like going over, I said, well, they got to change the name. And I was like, are they going to like CNB? What the hell? And I go, no way they're going to go with Team NBC. Like in my head, it instantly, I go, there's no way. No fucking way in hell.
They're totally going to do it because they're dicks.
No, they did it. So I'm watching a match, and like my brain is processing. I talk about this on Peter Talk SmackDown, and my brain is just processing this immediately. And I go, NBC? I wrote it down. I was like, NBC, man. No fucking way they're gonna roll with that. There's no way. And right after the match, Natalya, Becky, and Flair beat the Team Bella. Renee Young walks up to Paige in the back. It's like, well, how do you feel about Team NBC? And I fucking fell. I fell right on the floor. You know how like I'm trying to think like, I guess they do it in anime a lot when someone says something dumb, like gravity just gets hit, they just fall instantly to the floor, like just boom, That was my moment of just falling to the floor, like, get the fuck out of town. So they're Team NBC. You got fucking Jerry the King Lawler on SmackDown going like, that rings a good bell. I'm like, you fucking idiots. NBC.
You know what really bothers me about WWE? Okay, and this started, and this is kind of going with what we're talking about. But you had Team PCB, you have now Team NBC.
NBC, man.
And this all started with Team Hell No back in 2002, or not 2002, 2012, excuse me. They really need to stop putting the word team in front of their tag team names.
I feel like
their group names or anything, because it makes it sound stupid.
Well, I mean, I think for some strange reason, I feel like they did the team thing prior to that. I can't remember what team it was, but I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, they used the team then. But when they were doing those makeshift teams, especially with the Miz involved, it was like Miz, Jericho, and Big Show. So it was like Miz, Jericho, Miz, Show Miz.
Yeah, it was Show Miz and Jericho.
Yeah, like that was even weirder. Or even Air Boom.
Yeah.
You remember Air Boom?
Well, that was when they were experimenting with weird tag teams, and actually Air Boom was, I don't know if you remember this, they took a poll on WWE.com.
Yeah.
And that's the name that got chosen, and then they teamed for like 2 whole weeks, and then
Seidel fucked up.
Seidel got injured, and then right when he was about to come back, he did something to his foot when he was on Spicer or when he was high as a kite, and then was never seen on WWE TV again, and now he's in ROH.
I thought it was a wellness thing. I thought he got a third strike.
Well, he got busted for Spicer, which is a marijuana substitute, the second time, and then the third time he did something to his foot, and they suspected that he was probably high when he did it. So I think they just got rid of him after that.
Oh man. God, this product has gone to shit, man. And and part of my
this podcast is amazing, though.
Well, if everything is going to shit, but you know what's doing really well in the world of wrestling than anything, as the podcast community. Like, everyone has a podcast. Podcasts are red hot right now.
Yep.
You know, and I feel like it takes the product. I think if the product was really good right now, the podcast wouldn't do so well, because we sit back and we bitch and we moan, and misery loves company. If you don't like something, I can just go turn on whatever podcast and just listen to them moan and what's the word, verify my feelings about it, and I think as long as this product is as bad as it is, I just feel like the podcast world is just going to just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. New podcasts every day. Shouts to Keita, for the Keita and Jay show. But she's only allowed, and just like me, we're only allowed to get these and have a little bit of voice, maybe the 20 to 30 to 50 people that listen to us, is because they want to hear us talk about the bad product.
And it's like, I hate sitting here and being a cynic and I don't like this, I don't like this, but it's like, give us something to like, and then we won't have that problem.
It'd be no use to do a podcast.
But yeah, if the product is bad, it's like, I hate being a cynic about the product, but it's like, it needs to get better. That's all I really ask for.
I have this thing, and I probably do it I'm not gonna put it off anymore. But I think I'm gonna do one of those things where it's like 10 ways for the WWE product to get better. Like anyone's gonna fucking care. But I got some people that probably would love to hear my ideas of what they could change for things to get better. And you can either agree with it, disagree with it. I think I'm gonna do it Sunday. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it Sunday. Just 10 ways for the WWE product, but it's just going to be a fart in the wind,
Yeah.
I just hope if it's good enough that maybe, wrestling fans on the internet, WIWC, would actually check it out and be like, yo, man, look at this guy's list of ways for the product to get better. It won't be the first, and damn sure won't be the last, but it's things that I've just noticed, and I've just been dwelling on. I was just like, this is so ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous, and not to go off,
oh my God,
the whole page thing. What's up?
Something I saw on Twitter. Sorry to interrupt, but it just says WWE just tweeted out reports. Actually, it was 11 minutes ago. It says reports indicate that at Rusev Bull or Rusev and Lana are engaged, but how? ? Exclamation point. Tune into Raw for more. And apparently TMZ broke the story that they got engaged in real life, and now they're infusing into the storyline, and this is freaking awful. So here we go again with this shit.
Why are they gonna do that? Why would but why? But we all know that they're dating.
Yeah. It's like they're trying to work the smarks or do, I don't know what they're trying to do.
They're trying to, I don't know.
Give us brain damage.
And that's the petty shit I'm talking about. And just like, the whole Paige thing, we got to kind of go off track, but it's like, yeah, but apparently she's in the doghouse because of that shit. And I go like, wait a minute, man. See, the thing about wrestling is that these people are making a living. You know, this is a multi-million-dollar company. You know, almost could be $1 billion company, and it's a publicly shared, you know, stock. And you mean to tell me that because someone made an error, that you're going to actually on screen, you know, backstage politics, like punish them? I don't understand that logic. I just don't. I go like, wait a minute, aren't you $1 million, you know, multi-million-dollar company? Multi-hundreds of $1 million company? And you're pulling some shit, some kindergarten dunce hat shit affecting someone's push. If you're behind a person, be behind a person. You can settle backstage, like, you know, punishments backstage. You know, we don't have to know this. We don't have to see you lose because you fucked up somehow. You look at Emma and what they did with her on screen because of the Kmart like thing, the thievery thing. Like, they could have done that. Like, they could have handled that behind the scenes and still gave her push. Jack Swagger, they could have handled all of this shit behind the scenes. Take them off TV. Don't have them lose on TV. Find a motherfucker. Take away a check, because someone's push is their livelihood. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. But is there anything else we could talk about, or you just call it a fucking?
I think we pretty much touched on everything. There's not anything I can really think about that's really, besides what I just mentioned, that is going to give me brain damage.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to sit through that again, or that, even though they're working themselves into a shoot by infusing real life into storyline.
That's not even worth a damn.
I know. And I think it's stupid. So I'm interested to see how it's going to play out, even though by saying I'm interested, that means I'm really not. Because that just means that this thing is going to continue, and it's going to get more awkward, and it's going to suck.
But they're talking about even doing that with the Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, Nikki Bella thing. They're talking about even doing that.
So we're going to have two of these things going on at the same time. That is great.
I mean, I guess it'll pop off as soon as they get back. You know, Cena gets back. But my God, I hope not. I mean, I really hope it's just, you know, you remember when Braun Strowman first debuted, and I was like, who are they could prepare him for? And I'm like,
yeah,
you know, going over options, and I'm like, Cena. I mean, well, I don't know if I said, well, they could give him to someone else, but it looks like Luke Harper is going to probably come out for the U.S. Open Challenge. I would almost hope so. And him and Braun Strowman. And they're not there to necessarily win the title as much as just get revenge for Bray, because he's already in a program right now. And just, you know, decimate. Just beat the living shit. Braun Strowman just choke that son-of-a-bitch out. Just drop him a couple of times.
Yeah.
It has to be a believable 6 weeks he's gone. Just him dropping the belt and just, oh yeah, I dropped the belt. See you in 6 weeks. Like, no, I think that's silly.
Yeah, it depends how they go about doing it. And again, they'll probably take the stupid way out and do it in the dumbest way possible. But I mean, I'm not at this point expecting anything from WWE groundbreaking. because we know it's like we've seen their show within the last few weeks, the last few months, and it hasn't been good. And I don't mean to call out Jake on the podcast because I don't have a problem with him.
He doesn't listen to anything I do.
So but I'm wondering why, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, he said he enjoyed Raw.
Oh, yeah, I said, he tweeted out.
Why? Because there was literally nothing to enjoy.
Because he likes the wrestling aspect.
He likes the wrestling aspect, that's fine, but the terrible angles and storylines overshadows the wrestling.
That's something that we actually solidified even at the beginning of the Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling podcast. The fact that he isn't so much a fan of storylines and angles. He just wants to see good wrestling.
See, and that's how I am too, but I can't that's why I watch ROH, that's why I watch New Japan, that's why I watch AAA, as much wrestling as I can, NXT, but it's when I'm watching Raw, when I'm watching SmackDown, when I'm watching any of the main roster shows, even Superstars on the network, I want to see good wrestling. I don't care about the storylines. But when there's storylines that are this freaking bad, that overshadows, you could have the greatest match in the history of Raw happen on a Raw, and then you could follow it up with a terrible storyline that makes me want to kill myself. And what am I going to remember out of those two things?
Well, that's the idea of having something to sink your teeth into in terms of the actual match itself, the product in the ring. I mean, I could almost compare it, and maybe it's a silly comparison because you can't relate. It's like having sex in the dark.
Douchebag.
But seriously, having sex in the dark, it's like, okay, I'm fucking, but if I can't see what I'm fucking, what really is the use? I'm just performing an act. There's no attachment. There's no eye-to-eye contact. I can't see them. They can't see me. All it is just bodies slamming, right? And it's the same to me.
Oh, God.
I know, but no. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but it makes sense. You really
It's a huge stretch. Yeah. Now I'm going to have nightmares thanks to you.
Well, it's a huge stretch when I put on a condom, but...
Okay.
But you get my drift though, right? The idea of just a great match with either no or shitty storyline. It's well, why is this match happening? What is the story being told? If you're just in the ring tossing each other around and dancing and there's nothing really attached to it, why should I invest? Why do I enjoy it? And that's the thing about, having sex in the dark. And again, it is a stretch. It is a stretch. And I apologize for those who are listening. I'm not trying to be lewd. But if you're in that situation and you can't see and really take in what's happening in front of your eyes for it to sort of give reason to why even being in that situation, it's to no avail. You come out of it lacking something or missing something. And that's how I feel about storylines in wrestling. Not saying that Jake loves to have sex in the dark. He probably does, jabroni. But
I swear to God, every week we have a weird conversation, and I think it can't get any weirder, and then this happened. So I'm just going to forget that I ever heard any of that.
Oh, you going to Hogan my little, analogy?
Yep.
No, this is going to get Benoit.
It never happened.
Oh, you're a jerk. Oh, jerk. But whatever. I'm just saying.
I get it, but it's very, I get what you're trying to say, but it's a very far-fetched analogy.
Yeah, because you can't relate.
No, it's just, not that I can't relate, it's just very out of left field. And there's probably 1,000 better analogies that you could come up with besides that one.
Well, to those who can relate will totally get it.
Okay, whatever.
If they get it. All right, we'll end it on that note. I think that's going to be the name of this show.
What?
Sex in the Dark.
If you call it that, I'm totally quitting this podcast.
Why?
Because
you didn't like my MSG's up, hose down.
That was fine, but if you call this one Sex in the Dark, and it's two dudes talking, I'm totally not doing another one next week.
Well, I mean, who's to say we don't have gay listeners?
Yeah, but I'm not gay, and I don't think you are.
You don't think I am. Now it's gotten weird.
Yep.
So I'll come up with something. I need a nap. Get your plug.
Yeah, you do.
Do you have your concise?
Go to bed, old man.
Do you have your concise plugs?
I'll just say this. Follow me on Twitter at Headliner5. Follow Eyes on the Ring at Eyes on the Ring. Visit eyesonthering.com. And then just tune in to Twitter tonight because I will be watching Raw and live tweeting from both accounts simultaneously like I do every Monday night. And
also check out the Eyes on the Ring podcast that you can listen to on Stitcher and what else?
blogtalkradio.com/Elite Podcast Network. We are trying to get off of Blog Talk Radio because they suck and it's not worth the money, but we're trying to figure out because we want to do them live.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. And if we can't do them live, then we don't know what we're going to do.
Why not? So, you consider Google?
I don't know if we can do Google Hangouts with more than two people.
Oh, you could do multiple. You could have
or you can have multiple, but I don't know if you can have more than four.
Yeah, and also I guess everyone is going to have updated software and. Because maybe one person's computer is not up to doing Google Hangouts, like the trouble that we run into. So,
yep,
that's got to be another option. I mean, there are options, right? You know of any other options?
I don't, but I'm not the one to the guy who runs the Elite Podcast Network. His name is Matthew Grant, so he's the one that pays for Blog Talk, so he'll have to look into it. Mm-hmm. There are a few other avenues that we could take, but we don't know if they can do what Blog Talk can do.
And plus, it's the name, too. I mean, Blog Talk is it's a brand.
Yeah. But Blog Talk sucks. So if you're thinking about getting a podcast, that's fine, but don't get it on Blog Talk Radio because they're terrible.
Yeah, but I'll never go live. I mean, there's no reason for me to go live.
Yeah, but the live aspect for me is I love being live. If I could do every podcast live, I would, but it's almost not worth it because if you're live and you've got a guest, and which we had one week, we had Donovan Dijak on the show from ROH, and he kept dropping out because Blog Talk Radio sucks. So.
Well, figure it out, bro.
Yep.
Figure it out, bro. Just to make it quick, thanks for listening to Neu Daye Podcast. This is episode 13.
I think we're higher than that, but I could be, or maybe we're not.
Something. I think it's 13.
I don't know what episode we're on, honestly.
I think it's 13. I'm pretty sure it's 13. And check out. Yeah, thanks for checking out any and all PJTW Central. Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling material, whether it's the Neu Daye Podcast. Tonight will be Peter's Raw Recap. Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling every Wednesday. Peter Talks SmackDown every Saturday now because...
this is episode 13.
Okay, sweet. Lucky number 13. By the way, happy Murderous Genocide Day. Columbus.
I was going to say, what?
Today is Columbus Day.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, happy Genocidal Day.
Okay.
Yeah, Christopher.
Way to make it more awkward.
Yeah, Christopher. What's so awkward about that? Christopher Columbus was a bastard. And he has his own national holiday, which is awesome. He's like the biggest heel on the roster. That's what they need to do. They need to have a Christopher Columbus character on the main roster. He just be booed. But yeah,
are you drunk?
No, not at all.
Okay, okay. It scares me that you're completely sober.
No, I'm cool. Yeah, but what's so? Christopher Columbus is a bastard.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you mean you guess? You don't know about him coming to the Virgin Islands?
No, I do know. I just don't care.
Oh, I'm just saying he got his own national holiday. But enjoy the rest of your national holiday, folks. Genocide. Just kill as many people who aren't your color as possible. And then I think Sunday. I think this Sunday I'm gonna do that 10 thing, but nevertheless, PJTW Central on Twitter, and Raw tonight. Any special guests showing up? Because apparently we got some shit coming up.
No.
Like
I just know that there's John
Cena's
Cena's Open Challenge.
Yeah.
And then there's that crap that I just read on my timeline. So Raw's going to be a hoot tonight, folks.
Nah. Might have to mail that one in. Because who's tonight? I think it's the Chargers versus Chargers versus somebody tonight. We'll see. Probably not going to be a good game. The NFL sucks just as much as the WWE this year.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, if you're an NFL fan, if the NFL sucks, then you're kind of screwed. But if you're a wrestling fan, if you don't like the WWE, you can watch something else. Because there's plenty of other things that you can watch. So go watch one of those things.
Yeah, like the WNBA.
Like the New Japan pay-per-view that was last night.
Last night? All right, I'm going to check that out. What was the name of it?
King of Pro Wrestling.
Yep, I'm going to go check that. I'm going to check that out tomorrow. I'll probably even do a recording of it. Damn it. A review of it.
Good for you.
Yeah. So we're going to get the fuck on out of here, man. I want to thank again the homie Nathan Newman for being part of this glorious podcast. And you got any last words?
No, this podcast wasn't glorious, though. It was the worst. No, I'm kidding. The ending was weird, though.
So are you all page and shit all of a sudden right now? You trying to, like, apologize but not apologize?
Maybe.
All right. So, all right, folks. And you too, Nathan. Look out for those foreign objects. All right?
Yep.
All right. Peace.
Peace.